Good morning, friends. Today I am going to take the session on the fundamental rights. Guys, we are doing the fundamental rights topic. Okay, so till now we have done with the 22 fundamental rights. Okay, guys, so we started our discussion with the first, that is the union and its territories. After that, so that is part 1 of the fundamental rights. The second part is citizenship, that is from 5 to 11. And the third part that we are doing right now, that is from 12 to 35, that we are going to deal, guys. Okay, so in this aspect we have classified that is part 3 into different categories. Okay, like it is right to freedom. Okay, so right to equality, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion. Okay, guys, so in this manner we have classified into these groups. Okay, after this we are going to take the DPSPs, guys, that is the directive principles of the state policy. So guys, in the fundamental rights we have done till article number 22. Okay, so start the discussion, guys, that is fundamental rights. Fundamental rights. Okay, so the discussion topic is fundamental rights, guys. Okay, so in the fundamental rights we have done with 22 rights. Okay, till okay, guys, till right to freedom. So we have taken the right to equality, that is 14 to 18. Right to equality from 14 to 18. After that we have seen the right to freedom, that is 19 to 22. Now in this class I am going to take the two parts, guys. I am going to take the two parts. So that is right against exploitation. Right against exploitation. Right against exploitation. Okay, so this covers the article number 23 and 24. After that we are having the right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion. Okay, this will be having from articles from 25 to 28. Okay, guys, so in this session we are going to take these two parts, that is right against exploitation. Okay, right against exploitation and the right to freedom of religion. Okay, guys, this 23 and 24 and the 25 to 28 we are going to see in this session, guys. Okay, so let us start our discussion with the right against exploitation. Right against exploitation, guys. Okay, so guys, if you take article number that is article 23. Article 23 says that prohibition of, okay, guys, prohibition of human trafficking in human beings. Okay, so that is prohibition of trafficking in human being, guys. Okay, if I write article prohibition of traffic in human beings. Okay, so the prohibition of traffic in human beings, and the second one is the prohibition of the forced labor. Okay, so the article 23 deals with the prohibition, means to stop of the traffic in human beings. Guys, what do you mean by traffic in human beings? Guys, for illegal, that is for immoral purposes. Okay, for many immoral and illegal purposes, the women and the children are violated, guys. Okay, they misuse the women and children for different requirements. Okay, they simply as we have seen the rocket, that is the child rocket and all those things. So they have exploited the women and children for many purposes. Okay, they use the children for many places, like they use them as a bonded labor, guys. forced labor, like that. So it is prohibited, that is prohibition of trafficking, that we call it as a traffic, guys. Trafficking means taking away the children or the women or the human beings for a forced work is called as trafficking, guys. Okay, so this is prohibited. This we will discuss in article number 23, guys. And okay, and after that we are having the prohibition of forced labor, guys. What do we say? Prohibition of forced labor. This also we are going to discuss. Okay, guys, we are not having the forced labor, guys. Okay, we are having the labors, but it should not be forced. It should be happy labor, guys. Peaceful. Okay, for the willing of those people, guys, not as it's forced one. Okay, guys, in the many factories and industries, people as make them as a forced labor, guys, because they have made some debt. To recover that one, they bring the children or the small people to work in the factories. Okay, so guys, in this, the prohibition of traffic and human being and the prohibition of forced labor, if you recall the article number 17, okay, if you recall article number 17 says this: prohibition of untouchability in all forms. Prohibition of untouchability in all forms. Okay, so what are fundamental rights, guys? Or what are fundamental rights? Fundamental rights are the rights given to the citizen against the states and enforced by the courts. Okay, so it are the rights given to the citizen against the state. So if any of the fundamentals are restricted or taken away by the state, then we have the right to go to the article 32. That is, we can directly go to the Supreme Court. We can directly go to the Supreme Court. This we are having this provision in the fundamental rights itself. Okay, we are doing the fundamental rights from article 12 to 32. Okay, we have 12 to 35, but the 32 deals with the if any of the fundamental is violated by the state, then we can directly move to the article Supreme Court to article 32, guys. Okay, same in the untouchability, guys. So if the state is practicing untouchability against you, then you can go to the Supreme Court. What if the untouchability is practiced by any individual? Okay, so if any individual is practicing untouchability, then we are having the laws. We have the parliament will make the laws for if anyone is making or if anyone is violating the fundamental rights. Okay, so for the article 17 we have the civil rights. So previous we used to have the Untouchability Act 1955, but these have been amended in the year 1978. Okay, and they have made it as a Civil Rights Act. Okay, in the same manner, guys, in the same manner we are having the rights regarding this prohibition, guys. Okay, we are having the rights in the same manner. We are having the rights regarding the article 23 if it is violating the fundamentals by an individual, guys. Okay, so now we will discuss what are the issues in this of and what are the laws we are having the regarding in this manner, guys. Okay, so I start my discussion with the first one, guys, that is bigger. Okay, does India allow bigger? Does India allow bigger? No, guys. Okay, so we have removed the bigger through the minimum wage act. Okay, through the minimum wage act we have removed this bigger, guys. Okay, so in India we are not having the bigger. Okay, no one should be form the bigger activity, guys. Okay, this have been removed through the minimum wage act. Okay, and after that immoral trafficking, guys. Immoral trafficking. So if anyone is following the immoral trafficking, then directly we can go to the Supreme Court, guys. Okay, so as if it is state, then we can go to the Supreme Court. If it is following by any person, guys, any individual, then we have Immoral Trafficking Prohibition Act. Immoral Trafficking Prohibition Act. Okay, we have Immoral Trafficking Prohibition Act, guys. Okay, so this will prevent to not to have the trafficking, so not to be trafficked. Okay, so bigger immoral trafficking, guys. Okay, so after this we are having the provisions regarding the does slavery guys, slavery. Does India have abolished the slavery or does India have banned the slavery? Yes, yes guys. Okay, India has banned slavery, but India have banned slavery indirectly through this article, guys. Through this article. So Article 23 says that prohibition of traffic in human being and the prohibition of the forced labor. Okay, so forced labor is nothing but slavery. So indirectly, if you anybody have asked you, so does India have banned the slavery? Yes. So Article 23 says that is prohibition of forced labor, guys. Okay. So, but if you see the USA, there clearly they have mentioned the abolition of the slavery or the removal of the slavery, guys. Okay. So in India, we are not going to follow the slavery, guys. So we are not having the slavery. Okay. So this is one of the issue, guys. So and we have the Devadasi system, guys. Okay, Devadasi system means the children used to stay in the temples, guys, for a period of time. Okay, for the XYZ reasons. Okay, but those also have been removed. Those things have also been abolished, removed, guys. That is Devadasi system. Okay, so these discussions we need to have in our chapter, guys. Okay, and if you see, and if guys, the person who is in the prisoners, so that is prisoner. Okay, does the prisoner is forced to work in the jails? Guys, the prisoners will be of two types. That is the simple and the regressive. Simple and the regressive. Okay, those who are under the regressive punishment, they will be given some work, guys. They will be given some work, but in return, the government is going to pay the wages for them, guys. Okay, it is not against the Article 23, guys. It is not against the Article 23. But those who are under simple imprisonment, they will not be given any work. Okay, okay, guys. So prisoners, and after that, if you say that voluntary service. Okay, voluntary service. Does voluntary service is against Article 23? Voluntary service. Voluntary service. Guys, if any floods, any droughts, like if any calamity have occurred in the country, then we need the people to serve the nation, guys. Okay, so the staff that are present are not insufficient to serve the nation, then we go for the voluntary service. So in the fundamental duties also it is said that to render the service when and it is required, guys. Okay, we have these provisions in the fundamental duties also, guys. Okay, what fundamental duty says? It is the duty of the citizen to follow, like that we have 11 duties, guys. Okay, so voluntary service also it is not against the Article 23, guys. Okay, so those who can make the service, they can do, guys. Okay, guys, in such a manner we need to connect all those things, guys. Then only it will become very effective. Then only we can get the things. Otherwise, it's very difficult to get the things. Okay, fundamental duty also be discussed. So this is the discussions about the right against exploitation, and that is Article 23. That is prohibition of traffic in human being and the prohibition of forced labor, guys. Okay, done. So now I will take my discussion to the article number 24, guys. Okay, if I take article number 24, article number 24 is that prohibition of employment in factories, etc. Okay, so it says that article 24, guys, if you see article 24, okay, article 24 says that prohibition of employment. Okay, prohibition of employment of children in factories, etc. Okay, guys, article 24 says that prohibition of employment of children in factories. Okay, so in this we need to discuss, so does the employment of the children, so we need to define who are the children. So guys, if you see in the British government, so they have mentioned that children are the one who is less than 15 years. Okay, but we have the Child Labor Protection Prevention and Regulation Act 1986. So in this it said that the person who is below 14 years of age is a child. Okay, the person who is below 14 years of age is a child through the Child Labor Prevention and Regulation Act 1946. Okay, guys, the prohibition of employment of children in factories and etc. should be prohibited, guys. Why? Because the children, guys, guys, everyone is interested in getting the amount. Okay, in getting the amount. So that is in getting the money. But we need to think, guys. But we should earn the money at the appropriate amount at the appropriate time, guys. Okay, for the small children, for the requirement of the financial support, we can't send those children to the factories. Okay, so the children are the one who are should go for the studies, should go for the studies, guys, such that those studies are going to helpful. They earn more in the future. Okay, so in our constitution we are also having the, guys, provisions regarding the children in article number 45, that is to make the children to study. Okay, we have the provisions regarding the education of the children in article number 45, guys. So this is in the DPSP, and we are having the Right to Information Act, Right to Education Act 2009. Okay, guys, the Right to Education Act 2009, we are having the for making the children, that is free pre-primary education. Free pre-primary education, guys. Okay, so every children should be having the free pre-primary education, guys. Okay, this will covers under article, so that is through RTE 2009. Okay, so CRPR says that it is below 14 years. Now we need to discuss, so where the children can work. We have two aspects, that is the one is hazardous and the other is the non-hazardous. Hazardous and non-hazardous. Okay, so we have two factors, guys, in simply the hazardous and the non-hazardous. Guys, children are not allowed to work in the hazardous places at all, not at all, but they can allow to work in the non-hazardous places. But we have provisions, guys, we have provisions, but they should first of all fulfill this criteria, guys, that is RTA 2000 means. So whenever they are having the class hours, so whenever they are having the study hours, they first fulfill those hours. Okay, they first fulfill to those hours, and after that, so after the class hours, they can work in the non-hazardous. But the non-hazardous also which are owned of the house itself, means that is self-employment. If the family of the children are having the any agriculture land, any shop, then they can work only in that, not in the others field, not in the others shop, guys. Okay, these provisions we are having. That it means that RTE 2009 plus the Child Labor Prevention and Regulation Act 1986, they both have been combined, guys. Okay, so finally a child can work under the non-hazardous of the self-employment, that is at their home itself, that is in the shop or in the agriculture field, after they have made their education. That is, so during the vacations they can work. Okay, after the class hours they can work, guys. Okay, these provisions we are having in the, that is article 24, guys, that is prohibition of employment of children in factories. Okay, so this will complete the article 24 in depth, guys. Okay, guys, clear? Okay, so now let us move to the second part of our discussion, guys, that is right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion. So if you see the right to freedom of religion, we are having the 4 articles, that is from 25 to 28. Okay, guys, from 25 to 28 we are having the right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion, that is 25 to 28. So before I start my discussion, guys, so first of all, what do you mean by right to freedom of religion, guys? Guys, in India we are having this secular. Ours is a secular country, guys. Okay, ours is a secular country, but we have added the word secular through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. Previous we are not having the word secular, guys. Okay, what do you mean by secular? So what are its interpretations, guys? Secular means no diverse between the religion and the state. Okay, so the definition of the secular is having different interpretations. If you see the Western definition, so the Western says they are not having any issue with the state and the religion, means they are not going to interfere any religious matters, means like that is state and the religion is entirely different. Okay, so state is entirely different from the state and the religion. So they have no interference between the state and the religion, guys. Whereas our country, that is India, we having the no diverse between the state and religion. No diverse means they both are mixed. Okay, we are having in such a fashion, guys. That is state and the religion, guys. So the state can interfere in the religious matter of the people. Okay, so in this we are having the state and the religion. Okay, so I start my discussion with the article number 25. So what article number 25 says? Article number 25 says right to freedom of conscience. Okay, right to freedom of conscience. Right to freedom of conscience. Freedom of conscience. Okay, freedom of conscience. So what do you mean by conscience, guys? Conscience is one's own belief, faith and worship. Conscience. Okay, so one's own belief, faith and worship. It is the individual right. It is the individual right. So it is the individual right who has the right to have the right to conscience. So if you want to follow any religion, he can follow. If you don't want to follow any religion, no, he has the means. If he is not interested, he may not follow it. So he has its own conscience. He has its own conscience. But this should not affect the public order, morality, health, and anything in the party and any article, that is no article in part 3. Okay, guys, so freedom of conscience, it says that it is the individual right, so everyone can follow his own or her own religion, guys, but they should not affect the public order, the morality, health and the no article in the part 3, guys. Okay, so this we have reasonable restrictions. We have reasonable restrictions. This cannot be abscond, means we can't violate these things. Okay, so if you want to follow, you can violate, but you should not affect any public order. You should not affect the other rights. So if we should not discriminate the other rights, means simply, guys, it is our own and keep with you only. But you simply can't say that so that religion is wrong, this is right. You can't say like that. Okay, so whatever you want, you have its own conscience. Okay, but this have by the reasonable restrictions, that is the public order, morality, health and the no article in part 3 is restricted. Okay, so this deals with the freedom of conscience. Okay, but how this can be followed? This can be followed through we have, that is we can practice. Okay, we can practice, propagate and process. We can practice, propagate and process. Okay, so you have these 3 provisions, guys. We can practice, propagate and profess. Okay, so if you want, you can practice. If you want to, you can preach, that is we can profess. but if you want to propagate, but you can propagate, it should be done in a proper manner, guys. So you should not go against the things. Okay, this practice, propagate and the profess. So this is about the article number 25. Now I will take my discussion with the article number 26, guys. Okay, if we say article number 26, article number 26 says freedom to manage the religious affairs. Okay, guys, article 26 says that freedom to manage religious affairs. Manage religious affairs. Okay, so manage religious affairs. So simply we can say that religious denominations. Religious denominations. Okay, so we can say that the whatever the essential practices as a religion, if you want to practice, you can practice. Okay, that is essential practices. Essential practices of the religion you can follow. So whatever the essential practices of the religion are present, like we have different type of practices for different religions, guys. Okay, if I take this 6, and so they will use they will worship the weapons like that. So whatever we are having the essential practices, essential denominations, the religious denominations, we can practice. There is no objection for that. Okay, but you should not affect the same thing, guys. Okay, that is the public order, morality, okay, and all those things. Okay, but guys, here also we are having the restrictions. As I said, you should not affect public order, the morality. Okay, public order, morality, but these will not include part 3. Not include part 3, guys. Okay, whereas in the previous we are having in the 25 we are having those includes part 3. The restrictions includes part 3, but in this we are not having the part 3, guys. Okay, that is so here we are having the exclusion of the part 3 in the restrictions. That is, we have the public order, we have the morality, and we have the health of the nation. Okay, so we have only these 3 restrictions. We are not having the restriction in the part 3. Okay, guys, this is called about the manage of religious affairs. Okay, so now I will take the next article, guys. That is article number 27. Article number 27 says that it is about the payment of the taxes. Okay, article 27 says it is about the tax payment for the tax payment, guys. Okay, so if anyone is in any XYZ religion, then the tax payment is not the voluntary. So if it is not mandatory. So taking the so that is collection of the taxes. Okay, so collection of the taxes for practicing any religions is not there, guys. Okay, so simply we can have the fee, guys. Fee is different from the tax. Okay, so guys, for any visit of the temples we can collect fee, guys. So the fee is meant for the maintenance of the temples. This is not for the taxes. Okay, so we are not having, so that is no one can post taxes for the practicing of the any religion, guys. But we have the fee collection. These fee are meant for the maintenance of the temple, for the salaries of the employees, all those things, guys. Okay, these are for the mandatory, guys, but we are not having the issue of the taxes. So I take my last article for the today's discussion is, that is article number 28. Okay, so article number 28 says that it is the prohibition of the religious instructions or the religious worship. Okay, prohibition of religious instruction. Okay, or we can say that is the religious instruction or religious worship. Okay, religious worship in educational institutions. In educational institutions. Okay. These articles deals with the prohibition of the religious institutions or the religious worship in the educational institutions, guys. We have educational institutions of different types. So now we are going to see what are the type of educational institutions and what are the religious practices that they are going to follow. So what are the religious instructions or the religious worship that are going to take place in the religious matter, guys. Okay. Guys, we have four type of institutions. If you see these four type of institutions, the first and foremost is that is educational institution wholly owned by the state. So then in this case, we are not having any religious matters. We are not having any religious instructions or any religious worship. Okay, education institutions which are wholly owned by the state. Or we can say only it is run through the fund aided by the state. Then we are not having any religious matters in the state, guys. Okay. Your second one we are having, that is if we are having the partially state is administrating. Okay. Administrate and it has been established. Okay, guys, if it is administered by the state, okay, partially, or it is established as the religious endowment. Okay, so guys, if the state is administered or the established by the religious endowment, then we are having the religious instruction. We are having the religious instruction or the religion worship. But it is the option of the student who can want to take that preachings or not. That is, it is the option of the student. If you want to take, you can take. If you're not interested, you can't take, guys. This is about the second one. And we have the third and the fourth one, guys. So the third and fourth one, if we say, these are the one which are having the funded or the means these have been funded or the administered by the state. Funded and recognized. These have been funded and recognized by state. Okay, guys, these 3 and 4 are the one which are having the funded or it is recognized. Okay, funded or recognized by the state. Then in this we are having the preachings. In this we are having the religious preachings and it is mandatory to follow. Guys, we have some missionary schools. Some missionary schools are the funded and it is recognized by the states. Then they are having the religious preachings and it should be followed by the student. If it is only entirely state owned, then we have no preachings. So here we have some partially we are having, but here we are having fully. Okay, guys, these are the things which are dealt with Article 28, guys. Okay, guys, with this I am closing the session. So the next topic we are having is that is right education and the cultural rights. Okay, that is 29 to 30, and after that we are having the right to constitutional remedies. Okay, these things that I am going to take in the next session. Thank you one and all.